Half your exercises in the gym are only possible when you're sleeping 9 hours and living stress-free. Add running and suddenly you find out what was essential and what was just gym tradition. I stopped deadlifting every week, cut shoulder day completely, and dropped high volume leg workouts. And I'm more jacked now than when I was doing all of them. When you lift 4 days a week and run 80 to 100 Ks, you don't get to do everything. There's no room for nice to have. So I started asking, if I'm tired, stressed, and I slept like crap, does any of this still make sense? Or am I just doing this exercise because gym culture told me I should? That question killed half my training. Here's what didn't make the cut. If you're brand new to running, do some core work. Leg raises and cable crunches, that's it. You need that stability early on because your body doesn't know how to brace properly yet. But once you've been running for a few months and you're squatting and deadlifting, a whole core day is just overkill. Your core is already getting destroyed. Heavy squats, rows, RDLs, running on hills. Your core is working every single session. I'll throw in 5 minutes sometimes if I feel like it, or just do them between other sets. But dedicating an entire session to abs, that's gone. Not because core doesn't matter, it's just already getting handled everywhere else. This one's the big one, deadlifts. In gym culture, they're the sacred exercise. Every proper lifting plan tells you to deadlift heavy often and do it once a week. And I actually agree, deadlifts are one of the best exercises you can do. If lifting or even powerlifting is your only goal. The problem starts when adding loads of running volume. Heavy deadlifts didn't injure me, but they left my lower back tight for days, just stiff and locked up. And then I'd go out for a run and feel it immediately. Hips feeling stuck, the whole run feeling like I'm fighting my own body instead of moving freely. It's not that deadlifts are bad, it's that doing them heavy every single week doesn't mix well with high running volume, at least not for me. So now I deadlift every couple of weeks instead of every week. And when I do, I keep it smooth. I don't chase numbers just because they look cool on paper. Running doesn't care about your deadlift PR. It only cares whether your body is ready to move again tomorrow. RDLs are my main hinging movement now. They hit my hamstrings hard, build strength, and don't fry my back the same way. Weekly max deadlift sessions, that's a luxury I can't afford right now. Running already gives me leg endurance. The gym is for strength and power. Leg extensions and curls for 15 reps, that's training the wrong thing. I used to do 4 or 5 sets of leg extensions and curls thinking it would help me run longer. That's completely backwards. Mile 20 of a marathon isn't hard because your legs lack endurance. It's hard because you can't push off the ground anymore and everything starts falling apart. Heavy squats, RDLs, single leg work like lunges, that's what keeps you strong when you're exhausted. That's what stops your knees and ankles from breaking down. High rep leg curls just don't do that. Running already handles the endurance. The gym is supposed to make your joints bulletproof so you don't fall apart when running gets hard. So I dropped all the bodybuilding leg stuff and just kept the heavy work that actually matters. Rows, pull-ups, dips, incline pressing. My shoulders are already getting worked in every session. A whole shoulder day on top of that, that's just extra fatigue I can't afford and it's not giving me extra gains. Front raises, rear delt flies, they are gone. I'll still throw in a couple sets of lateral raises sometimes, usually between sets of something else. Not because I need them, but just because I love the pump. I mean, let's be honest, a side delt pump just feels amazing. Compounds already handle shoulders. Adding isolation on top doesn't make them grow more. It just makes me more tired. And think about it. If you've got 4 hours a week for the gym, you can spend an hour doing shoulder day, or you can get the same work done in 20 minutes with your regular pressing and pulling. Those extra 40 minutes, that's the difference between getting your run in or skipping it because you're out of time. I'm not cutting shoulder day because I'm lazy. Rows, pull-ups, and presses already do the job. And I'd rather spend the energy on something that actually moves the needle. I still love an arm day. Come on, who doesn't? I just stopped doing a stupid amount of volume. Pull-ups and dips already hit them quite intensely. Instead of 12, 13, 14 sets a week, now it's 1 or 2 movements and a couple proper working sets. And when I say proper, I mean actually pushing them. Not stopping because it burns, but stopping because the rep genuinely slows down. That changed everything. The extra sets weren't building more muscle, they were just making me more tired for no real return. Once I cut the volume and made the sets sets count, my arms kept growing. They didn't shrink, they didn't flatten out, they just responded to hard work instead of endless work. The arm pump is still something I love. It's just not the goal anymore. When I'm running 80 to 100 Ks per week, my calves are already getting thousands of reps. Every step is basically a calf raise. The endurance part is covered. So doing high rep calf raises in the gym on top of that, it's just redundant. If I train calves in the gym now, it's heavy and low reps, building actual strength. Or sometimes slow eccentrics to keep my Achilles healthy. But high rep calf raises, running already does that job way better. And if we're already being honest, most of the time I just skip them. Most people are just doing exercises because that's what you're supposed to do. Gym culture tells you all of it's mandatory and you believe it until you actually start asking your body to perform instead of just showing up. The cracks show up immediately. You find out what you can actually handle and what just sounds good on paper. You can't do luxury exercises when you're doing real work. So running didn't force me to cut these exercises, it just made it obvious which ones were actually necessary and which ones only worked when I had 9 hours of sleep and zero stress. But when you're actually training hard, you find out pretty fast what you can afford and what's just taking up space. What are you doing because it's actually doing something, and what are you just keeping because that's how you've always done it? If you're running on top of lifting, I'm curious, tell me which one it is. Everybody has one exercise they don't actually need to do, and I'll tell you which one I'd replace it with.